You are now watching MrGentleman Lifestyle Podcast TV. Chill! Hello, everybody. This is your boy Ken, aka MrGentleman, one fourth of the Premier Boy Podcast, and your host of MrGentleman Lifestyle Podcast. And welcome to another new episode of MrGentleman Lifestyle Podcast TV. Hope all is well. And on this episode, we got my special guest. He is a podcast host. He have a podcast show called The Zaya Show, and we have Zaya in the building. And we're going to talk to him about the podcast show, his life journey, and many more. And y'all already know what to do. Sit back, relax, and I'll be right back. Yes, welcome back, everybody. Welcome back. And at this time, I got a special guest. He is a podcast host. He got a podcast show called The Zaya Show. He got a lot going on. We'll talk about all that. We got Zaya in the building. Zaya, how you doing?
I'm doing good. You?
I'm doing good, man. It's crazy outside, but you are here. Welcome to the show. It's been a long time coming.
Yes, it's been a long time coming. I've been listening to your podcast for like a good year or 2.5. So it's been a long time coming, guys. So I'm glad we're doing it.
Yeah, thank you for that, man. But first thing first, congrats on graduating, man. Because that is a big thing. I wanted to say that. Start off with that. Congrats. How does that feel?
It feels well in the beginning. Of course, you feel like the excitement overall, but after a few weeks, kind of settle in. Like I'm actually done. So it's great still, but it's the uncertainty of just like not knowing the next step, which is cool at the same time. But I'm happy I'm done with the 11:59 p.m. deadline. So I'm overwhelmed. I'm just happy. I'm not feeling post depression. I don't know who said depression was going to hit. I'm not feeling depression at all. So.
but you already know, once again, congrats to you, man, because that is big. Congrats to you, man.
Thank you so much.
So let's start. Where are you from?
I'm from Louisiana. I'm a Southern boy. Yes, I am. I'm from, well, we gonna say for out of state people from New Orleans, but if you're from the area, I'm from like the Kenner, like basically like around the New Orleans area. So I just say New Orleans to keep it simple. So
nice. So how would you describe yourself with 3 words?
Ooh, that's a great. See, I was thinking this the other day, but I would say, motivated, of course, because you had to get through college. I would say creative. Doing a podcast, definitely have to be creative. And then I would have to say strong-willed. I don't give up easily. So those are 3 words I would describe myself.
Yeah, those are dope. So what is one thing that you do at your own time?
That I do on my like off time?
Yeah.
Okay. So it's kind of like a guilty pleasure. I feel like everybody's going to do this. I definitely watch reality TV shows on my free time. I do that. So I will watch like Dance Moms, Bring It. Like I don't watch the Real Housewives. Like I watch the stage moms that just get upset about their daughters not having a solo. It's very funny to me. So I've been binge watching that. As well, my off time, I do read. I do listen to a lot of podcasters. I've been digging Archie, the podcast. He's up and coming. Like he's good. Other than that, I really just be chilling, working hard. But I listen to other creators too because it inspires me. So yeah.
Dope. So you already answered one part of this question, so I'm gonna give you the other part. What is in your headphones right now, as a music wise?
What's my favorite? Or
I mean, like what you listen to right now?
Okay.
It could be old school or new school.
What I'm listening to right now, because it's Pride Month, I kind of feel it's biased, but I'm listening to Renaissance Beyonce on repeat all day, every day. So I've been listening to that album on Recycle.
Dope. So now let's talk about your life journey. So how was you growing up?
So when I was growing up, I wasn't the outspoken kid. I was actually the shy kid, which is funny to everybody that knows me. They're like, "Oh, the shy kid got a podcast and doing well." I was like, "I know, right?"
Trust me,
So
I can relate. I can relate to that. I can relate.
so as a child, I grew up in speech therapy. I needed like speaking wise, I needed help with pronunciation. As well, I was very quiet, very to myself. I had to take karate. My grandparents thought taking karate would make me outspoken. It kind of did, but also made me violent. But as a kid, I was very closed off and just like kept to myself and very calm and peaceful. But as well, I did have the creative bug from me from the get-go. Like I always said, like I was creating videos either through like my secret YouTube channel. Like I remember I had like Isaiah Funny Show that I somehow found right before I graduated, which was crazy to me, but that what I was doing at that age. Like I always knew that I was meant for entertainment or like creating art or like writing stories. Like I came across my Google Docs, like when you're trying to clean it out,
Yeah.
stuff like that. Cause I have so much podcast content now, just planned, typed up, and I see stories and I'm like, oh, you knew what you was writing then. You knew what you was doing it. Like some of these ideas, I'm like, I could morph this into something else. But I really, really loved what I did as a kid, especially like around Christmas time. I will write books, like little short stories. I was very creative, but I kept to myself. So I was like internalized, entertaining myself. So that's how I explain myself as a kid for sure. I was a cool kid, I think. I think I was a cool kid.
You know what crazy? I was also creative as a kid. I always wanted to do a lot of things, music and
Mhm.
podcasts, stuff like that. But I was shy because I had speech problems. And just like yourself,
Yeah.
stuttering and pronouncing and stuff like that. I had to go to therapy for that as well. And also I did karate as well. So that's crazy that we do got a lot in common. That is crazy.
Yeah, it's
That is
crazy.
crazy. So how all that you've been through made you the person you are today?
So okay, so my grandparents as well, my grandma, she was actually my teacher for like a good bit of my elementary years. So either like kids would think like, oh, you're the grandchild, so you get to go home and sleep. No, I got to do more work. So being young and seeing like my grandma pushing me harder to study, always be like, okay, do a little more. And I had to go to speech therapy. And like during the summer, like when school's off, you go to the lessons, do that. So it just made my work ethic at that point like, okay, like I'm used to working. So like graduating, like getting through college, I thank them because literally like had I not had that work ethic, I would not gone to college. I would have not gone through it. Even like post college now I gotta be accountable for what I do. So like whenever I'm at work, working from home, doing a certification, doing things that I want to make happen, I gotta hold myself accountable, and that work ethic definitely helps. And then as well, seeing strong-minded women, black women, and strong-minded black men representation, and just knowing that I could be anything that I wanted to be. So that was great inspiration at that time, and still at this time. I'm still young, so.
Yeah, yeah, and keep killing it, man. You're doing big things. We'll talk a lot about you about to do. But first thing we'll talk about before you can talk about the Zaya show, what made you inspired to become a podcast host?
That's a great question. Everybody asked me that question, and I'm just like, honestly, as crazy as shit as it sounds. So I'm gonna get into the story just for you because I know this is a season finale. So if you're listening to this, you're getting the specialty. So I woke up one morning, I kid you not, in my dorm, and I already tried to do a YouTube channel, except I didn't like it because it was like I had to edit. Like, I mean, like editing podcasts is hard, but like editing podcasts without my face all the time in it, I was like, okay, it's easier. But at that point, I was like, okay, I'm trying to do YouTube. It's not working out. What's another creative platform? And I kid you not, I went on YouTube and saw recommended Pod School, and I was like, okay, let me look at this. And it showed that I could start a podcast like so easy on Anchor. And I was like, you know what? And literally, I did not have a name for the show. I did not have anything. And I was like, I'm gonna record an episode. I'm gonna just do it. I'm gonna just put it out. I don't care. And so it wasn't like strategically planned at all, or like I'm gonna come up and it's gonna be called Zaya. Like, no, at first it was called I'm So Gay Podcast. And then once I realized like everybody used that, like had the title at that time. And then also I didn't just want to be representing LGBTQ. I wanted to be like a black gay representative podcaster. I wanted to appeal to different minorities. So I was like, okay, let me go by my nickname, the Zaya Show. So I didn't change it till like a few months after, but I started a podcast like just like cold, like, okay, we're gonna figure everything out. So yeah, that's how I really started. It wasn't planned at all. So yeah.
Nice. And now let's talk about the Zaya show. Like, Tell us about the Zaya show.
So the Zaya show is all about becoming your true authentic self. So recent seasons and even seasons before, I always push the envelope, giving the audience, aka Zay fam, a little more about me. So throughout the seasons, you will hear about my stories, like of the current. So like if you listen back to season 1 through 5, really, you'll hear all about my college journey. You'll hear some guys that I dated be like, oh, I think I'm gonna be with him forever. Then in the next season's like we broke up, and it's like that is truly authentic. And then as well, I do have amazing guest stars that come on to the podcast to amplify the message, talk about it, don't say gay bill. I really get into representation as well for African American community. So we had Elijah Manley. He was running as a Democrat for the House of Representative in Florida like last year during this time. So that was big for me. So having representation, also spreading the message about becoming your true authentic self, being proud of who you are, your message, your dreams, your goals, your everything. That's really what the Zaya show is all about, becoming the person you want to be.
No, that is really dope. And I listen to your show like every week.
Thank you.
I remember when I started listening to your show, you was on Michelle podcast.
Mm-hmm.
I listened to her show as well. And she like, check out the Zaya show. You know what? Like, and I like to listen to a lot of shows. So I like, let me check out the Zaya show. And I like the storytelling, I guess. And everything. I really like your show. And I'm in love with this, but my favorite guest on your show was your professor. I love that conversation.
That was crazy. Okay. Joe Burns, shout out to Joe Burns, because he is literally the best because he does have a podcast too. I need to get the name for him so that way I can promote him, because I had a lot of people like, who's this dope professor? Because he really got a good radio voice. And I'm like, he does a lot of radio at our school, and he was known as that professor. So I was like, let me get him on the podcast, because if I get him on the podcast, I get bragging rights from everybody else, because he never did. Like, he teaches a podcast class, and he had his podcast students listen to my podcast and like figure out stuff. So I'm like, I'm dope if I got him on this shit. And then he gave me a great feedback. He's like, I love how you segue things. I love how you let me talk, all this. And I'm like, thank you for giving me my flowers. And he's like, I can see you in broadcasting. He's like, I know you're in business, but broadcast, podcast, stay with it. And I was like, that was the type of inspiration like I need to hear graduating, because it's like so much pressure to be like, okay, go to the 9 to 5 route. And the route that I'm doing is completely different. And it's a bit more rough, but we're gonna stick it out as Capricorns and as podcasters. But I'm glad you liked that episode, because I loved it too. I was nervous though. That was one episode that I was really nervous for.
Yeah, no, that was a really good episode. But your show in general was good. So let my listeners know, where can they listen to your show?
So you can listen to my show on Spotify, Apple. Literally everybody listens to me on Apple and Spotify. But you can listen as well on Beaker, everywhere else, Good Pods. I'm literally everywhere. Search up the Zaya Show, you will find it. And yeah, literally search it up.
Hey, there you go. So last season, I'm on social media. I read it on Twitter, on Instagram, just looking.
Yeah, showing love to everybody.
and I see a post that you posted saying, season 6 was my last season. I ain't gonna hold you. I was shocked when I seen that. I was like, dang, Zaya. Like, really? I was just really thought to listen to your show like a lot more. I'm like, dang, Zaya gonna do that to me. So my question is, what made you want to go to that decision? And then what made you want to switch that decision later? Right.
So it was very funny. Okay, so I actually today that we're recording this was I dropped the episode with Pillow Talk. So it's the end of season 6, but I am coming back, people. So I am coming back. But at that point, it was like December. It was right after season 5. Season 5 did so amazing. I could not ask for a better season than that. And I was like, it wasn't fear of like topping that, but it was the fear of like, I don't know what's going to happen after I graduate, because I don't want to rush a season. I never wanted to like, okay, I'm going to rush this and then just throw everything out. But season 6, I was like, well, it's kind of, I started in college, so it makes sense for me to end it when I graduate. And literally everybody that I talked to, the guy I was talking to that took me to the, he was like, that's stupid. My friends thought it was stupid. Everybody thought it was stupid all the way around. But I was like, y'all don't understand, because y'all not in the podcast game. I can still come coach. I could still do monetization if I want to, still repurpose stuff. But when I announced it, everybody was coming at me, like Q was coming at me, Michelle was coming at me because I was also recording for that season. So everybody was like, "This, are you serious? You're ending?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm ending. I think it's gonna be a good story." But then once it became time for season 6 premiere, and I was just like, I just can't end it. Like it just felt, it didn't feel right to me because it was like, number one, I got like the way I was in December because I thought I would have a full time, but then after being in the last semester, you start understanding like who you about to become. And I was like, this is what I love to do. This is what I'm passionate about. And if I can make money off of this and still help people in the world, and that's my purpose, why would I give that up just to possibly recreate a new podcast or like, go into a different space and I'm not happy. So I knew at that point, I was like, okay, let me slowly delete this and then just let's see what happened with season 6. And season 6, I was like, okay, it's gonna happen. And I recorded I surprise dropped the episode, but then when I hit number 1 on Good Pods, I was like, oh shit, okay. I'm definitely, like, people thought, I was like, it's not numbers, y'all, because I made a decision before, but the number just classified like, okay, God put me here for a reason and I'm doing this for a reason. And also giving people messages like, especially in a time where our country is right now with all the bullshit, honestly, I'm like, representation is important, especially for Gen Z. So Gen Z, I'm here for you. So the podcast not ending for a while. I'm not ending, no rumors. I'm not ending at all. Probably not till 2030, when I'm at 29.
Okay, dope. And I'm happy that you did end it. Cause I ain't gonna hold you. I will go to end this after season 5 as well. Cause
right, it's just something about the number 5.
Cause I know around that time I was going through a lot.
Yes.
I just wasn't happy. But then when I said that, I was thinking about ending it. Mad people like, you can don't go, and then they heard my last finale of last year, and it is like, so I was so deep about it. Cause I mentioned about it on that show. It just motivated me to like keep going.
Yeah.
And this season, the season we're on now, became like one of my biggest seasons. So I was like,
for real, you doing your thing. Like whenever I seen the Gentleman Lifestyle Podcast, I'm like that. Like when I first saw the name, I was like, I like that name because it makes you come off as like a king, just like a king. I was like, nickname in my head, like, how Michael Jackson had the king of pop. I was like, the king of podcasts, because there's no way in hell. Like every single time, I'm just like, okay, he's doing the damn thing. He's supporting this. It's like, I love how you support everybody in the game. And I really love the podcast community, genuinely. Like I love everybody in the community. And I just can't, disappear. I just can't. Like Larry. Also, it was helping me. Like I didn't know where I was going to be after I graduated. I didn't know if I was going to be home. I didn't know if I was going to have a place to record. So it was like, how am I supposed to, keep this going? But I'm like, I'm gonna just do a little break. I'm gonna take a little break this summer just to get my shit together, literally, and have like a cute area to record. So I'll be back in the fall, winterish. Yeah.
There you go. And we're looking forward to the new season. You killing it there. You killing it there.
Thank you.
Keep going, man. Keep going, man. So on your show, you also talk about you coming out.
Mm-hmm.
So tell us about that experience.
Coming out, I actually had a recent event happen too. Coming out for me, it was the oopsies story. I always say it's the oopsies because I was just dumb. Basically my parents caught me watching something, which I mean, hey, you would not want your child watching that. But at that point it was like, okay, it wasn't accepted. And so I went through years just like, okay, just keep it under wraps in front of them. But I'm still gay. Like I'm not, it's like a clear closet, as my friends say. It's like glass. Like I still dated guys, like it was glass. But recently at my graduation, my boyfriend came to my graduation. And then he came to the dinner. Then he came to the party, and Black people gonna be nosy. And so my mom, she put me in. She's like, "Are you dating him?" And I was like, I don't know how to respond. And she's like, okay, I accept it. And she's like, I accept it. I guess also because it's like she likes this one and he's more mature. And also he bought her the Little Mermaid bucket, so she's all over it. So I mean, hey, so my people accept it now. So yeah, that was recorded a few months ago, but now updated. Yeah, they're fine. So everybody's fine about it now. So I'm like, hey, it was a good story. Turned out it just took some years.
Yeah. And I got to shout out to you because it takes courage to open up and stuff like that. So shout out to you, and that's dope that you did that, man. Keep going, Zaya. Yes. But also, why is it important to be a Black podcaster, but also a podcaster in the LGBTQ community?
Okay. So whenever I started the Zaya show, I always knew LGBTQ full the way because of my inspirations. My inspirations that I took from whenever I went and started a podcast. Once I got into the mindset, like, okay, this gonna become something. I wanted to have inspiration from Tariq Ali, Archie J, very black LGBTQ community impersonate, like, people in the space. But when I started a podcast, it was very LGBTQ force, and I was like, okay, I like this, but I also feel like I put a wall up against myself where I couldn't talk about my experience as a black man. And so when I got to like season 3, I was like, okay, I'm going to be talking a bit more about my racial experience, because I mean, like, as much as people want to put people in a box, just like one box, I wish we can. However, some of us is more than one, honey. Like, you're gonna see me black before you see me gay. I'm just saying, you're gonna see the skin tone before you see the rainbow. So as a black and gay podcaster, it's very important for me to show representation, because you never know who you're impacting. It might be people out there in the same shoes. Like, it's not no one person community. It's like a whole world of people like me. So it was very important for me to say I'm black too. I don't want people coming across like, oh, he don't want to be black, he don't like his in that, like, his race. Like, no, honey, I love being black. I love the South. Don't get me wrong, I love my culture, but also I am also LGBTQ and I got another culture too. So I have two. So I don't want to like include anybody else, because our voices are very important, especially in the African American and LGBTQ community as well. So yeah.
There you go, man. Shout out to you, Zay. Like I said, you killing it. I go say that, but you killing it, man. You killing it.
You killing it too.
I try.
That's the guy that's always on top on the charts.
I try. But even though I be at the top of the charts, there's still more work to be done. I never stop there. I always want to get
of course.
So yeah, yes. Work to be done, no matter what.
I just love that the black people are taking over. Can we just talk about that for a minute? I'm just gonna say it because I mean, everybody's that I saw that came up, I'm just like, why are the black podcast out of nowhere? And I love it. I'm like, all of us taking over. Like, god damn. Okay. Like, what, like, there's several, like, in the personal journals, like, especially in society and culture genre. I'm like, yes, I'm excited, and I love it. I listen to most of them, so I'm loving that. The black podcasters getting their time to shine right now, as we should. So,
and I'm not gonna hold you. When I started joining the pod, I believe was 2021. There was no black podcast on the charts at all. And then that time went on, Red Dove got on there, and then that motivated me to go in there. And now Society Culture and Personal Journal, you see what WTS on there, see the things about us, you see you.
Yep.
See my bro Star Time, Body, my other show, Premier Boy, and more.
Yeah. Because you do so many shows, I'm like, god damn, like, when do you get a break in my head? I was like, when do he get a break to just, like, because as podcasters, we need a little moment to breathe. So I'm like thinking about your moment to breathe.
I know. Let's just say when my main show is done, I do my team show, and then I executive producer on my friend's show. So it's never done work for me, but I do take breaks. I do take breaks when I can. But,
I'm glad. Okay, good.
But shout out to all the black podcasters though. I just got to shout them.
They're dope.
We just got to shout them out. They are. They definitely need more credit, so I'm gonna shout them out. 12th Street Talkback. Chronicle of a Virgo.
Psychopath. Oh yes. What's the other one? No, I'm trying to think of it. So, is it a white pants? It's W. I only know the acronyms. Yeah, it was like white pants. Yeah. He's dope.
All of them is dope. All
of them are dope. All of them.
Let's continue to work together and just grow together.
Literally, yes.
That's what matters for real.
Absolutely.
So, as a podcaster, what is your biggest challenge?
So my biggest challenge right now as a podcaster, because I feel like podcasters, there's never that one thing. Sometimes the challenge dissipates. My challenge before I started season 6 was finding my voice. Well, I know my voice, but also finding how I could make my voice transition from outside of the college stories. So now that I'm done with school and that my contract is up with the university that I worked for, I could actually talk about different things than I ever did before. So now it's like as a challenge, finding new topics to talk about because I don't want to be repetitive in season 7. I want to give a new approach. Like, okay, Zaya's grown now, so we're gonna be talking about bills. We're gonna be talking about like. So it's very different and it's a good challenge to have. So it's just pushing me outside of my box, my comfort zone. So new topics to talk about. So yeah.
Yeah, that I ain't gonna hold you. Coming up with topics is hard. I ain't gonna hold you.
It's hard.
Coming up with topics is hard. So, what is your goal for your podcast show, and what you want audience to get out of it?
So the goal for the podcast, at this point, I want to I say like I want to give the Zaya show a facelift because the thing is I started this podcast during school. I did not have that much time. I also worked, so really like as much time that I did with it, I'm very surprised. So I really just want to see what happens when I give my all to it. So seeing how things going to happen. Yes, merch is coming. So just seeing like how much time I have now in a sight of relief, and that's why I'm probably not depressed about graduating or like not having school again, because now it's like I get to focus on my baby that I literally grew up. So just seeing where the podcast go, getting to do live events now. I'm gonna be at in Cleveland next month for the 4C conference. You're going?
Nah, not the moment.
Unfortunately, no. But getting to do live events and also getting to actually see podcasters and going out is something that I really want to do. So that's the goal for the podcast. And then something that I want my listeners to take away from is really just, even though throughout my story, I just want them to either laugh or to be inspired. I don't ever want them to feel sad because there's so much sadness in the world. It's just so much like I came and watch the news at some point. So I really just either want them to laugh at like how dumb or how childish my stories are right now, or I want them to feel inspired and just be like, I could do that. If Zaya did that, I could do that. I could break it off with that dude too.
And like I said, you're doing a good job there. You're doing a good job. So if you could interview anybody, any could be a celebrity and not celebrity, who is your dream guest? Name 3 people.
Okay. I feel like I would do justice for these 3, and they're all celebrities. I would love to do Beyonce, because I'm a beehive. However, I'm not going to stand too hard, but I'm going to ask the questions that nobody else would ask. I'd be like, so what was your inspiration? Stuff like that. As well, I would love to interview Britney Spears, especially after the conservatorship. I feel like since I am part of the army, I will represent us well. Just hear me out, Britney Spears. If you're out there, listening, I could do your interview. I'm from Louisiana. I could come up to your little neck of the woods. We could go out for food, and then, I'll make you comfortable. And then the third one, that's okay. If I have to interview another, I want to say Michael B. Jordan. Michael B. Jordan, even though like I find him attractive, but I really would just like to talk to him, like genuinely.
Yeah.
I might get lost in his eyes, so
all them are good picks. I know the Britney Spears one. That would be an interesting one.
That would be like
that would be an interesting one.
That will be 3 hours long, y'all.
That would be interesting. I actually look forward for that one. But not only that you graduated this year, you actually got a new role. You are a social media social media manager at Optimus Radio.
Yeah.
First, congrats to you on that.
Thanks.
Let's talk about like how did that come together? And explain what the role is.
So basically social media manager, for people that don't know, I graduated in marketing. What a coincidence. So I'm very well, I have great knowledge in like content marketing. So like how to get your numbers up, all that good stuff. So I already got the background and the degree, girl. So as well, I have an emphasis on social media and advertising. So I know when the opportunity came up, actually it was like, okay, I just want to build the presence of the Opulence radio network, build up representation, getting it more out there on social media. And so because I did the March to the Record book with them, and she was very much more like, okay, I know you're about to graduate, so I want to hit you up first. which I appreciate. Thank you for hitting up the graduates because the job market sucks. But I was like, okay, let me think about it. Have to go through everything. But I recently did 2 interviews. Like, I already knew I was gonna have the job in May because I went with my gut. Cause I was like, it just would feel right for me just to have this role, just to really get to like not only build a resume, of course, sure, yeah, but also I get to do what I love, and that is working with creators and working with podcasts. And there has not been a dull moment other than just like me not having enough coffee just to push out. But so basically what I do is I'll create content, create captions, find new things for us to do, graphics wise, really get to be creative and have like the creative control that I always wanted to have. So really getting to be creative, make videos, promoting the network. It's amazing. So that's basically what a social media manager does. So yeah. But yeah, the opportunity came up like around like April, May, so like right around the time when I'm about to graduate. So I was like, that's God right there. That was God.
Yeah, and yeah, once again, congrats on that. That's amazing, man. Keep doing your
Thank
thing,
you.
bro. Keep doing your thing. So, as you know, we are in a pandemic. We are doing a pandemic. Yeah. So
I still feel like I'm in a pandemic.
yeah. So what I have to ask you is, how did the pandemic affect you, and what did you learn from it?
So the pandemic hit at a unique time for me. So it came like, let's say, be honest, it was like in 2019, and my birthday is like January 2nd. So I was in my freshman year of college. So I was experiencing everything like, it's a new chapter. So when COVID hit, it was like it came to a screeching halt like of what I thought my college year would be. And so I came back home and I was dating this guy, and you know how those goes, and he was upperclassman, of course. But yeah, I got cheated on at that point, and then also I was doubting like what I wanted to study because I was in business administration, but it didn't feel right. So really, when I went into COVID, I didn't know what I wanted to do. I didn't know anything. We did not know what the future was going to hold. We did not know we was going to be out of it by 2023. I was thinking of other ways to get money just in case college was going to be on a screech hold. And then as well, at that point, I just started to realize how much people really are there for you, because yes, like people are there for you, and I feel like in our society we want to always be around people. You always want to go out to eat, you always want to go out to clubs, you always want to do this. And during COVID, you didn't have nobody other than your family but other than that, you ain't got nobody. So I just learned from COVID and for the pandemic to really take time for myself, and knowing that I'm not afraid to be by myself. So it helped me now, since I'm in post grad moment. I don't talk to my friends all the time. I'm glad I don't, because I'm gonna keep it real with you. I'm glad they're getting their jobs, getting their money, and I'm glad I'm doing my thing. And that's how it's gonna be, and that's the world that we live in now. So having people not talk to me 24/7 is great. I love it. I love my peace now. So thank you, COVID, for preparing me for post grad life. So I know it was a sad time, but now looking back, I'm like, ooh, I don't mind being by myself again.
Yeah, and it was a crazy time. I had a crazy time. I spoke about it in the show a couple of times, but yeah, but I guess we're getting better.
Yeah.
So I guess that's a good thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, but let's get to more brighter notes. Let's get to more brighter things. So, what is your dream venture? Something that you always want to do?
Ooh, something that I always wanted to do, and I am actually talking about doing things in the future since I got all this free time with brand possibly management. I really want to start. I feel like I will be a great person to do this. I really want to start my own fragrance line. I feel like I personally, me, if you know me, I always smell good. I know it's hard to smell through this camera screen, y'all, but I genuinely tell y'all I smell good. Ask all my friends. Either a fragrance line, I used to, or like either fragrance or like a sweater line. I feel like sweaters would be on brand for me. Just like I always wear sweaters or like, shirts. So yeah, but I feel like fragrance I would love to venture into fragrance. I have a fragrance line. That'll be nice. Yeah.
That would be dope. That would be dope.
That'll be dope.
For real. That would be. So what other projects that you got going on that you have not mentioned yet?
Okay, so I've been working on a lot of things, hence why I've been quiet on the gram and everywhere else other than dropping episodes left and right. And I do feel so I've actually rebranding the Zaya show. So I'm not leaving y'all. I am just rebranding. So it's still gonna be the same color palette, same vibe, same aesthetic. It's just that I want to make sure moving forward with the podcast that I want to move it into, I want to move it into a business model. So I'm just taking more steps as a business, graduate. I'm just making sure I got my ducks in a row. So when I come back out and want to do partnerships, I can do them. So just working on that. And then as well, I'm working with Onplins Radio, of course, as social media manager. And then as well, I'm working on, okay, you get exclusive tea. I'm working on a potential second podcast.
Oh, okay.
So that's exciting. I don't know when that's going to happen because we're still in the early stages. So we're still having meetings about that, talk about that. I think it's a great idea. We're all excited about it, but you never know. You never know with projects. So right now, still in the planning phase. And once we get into the test run, y'all hear about it. And then as well, I'm working on my vlog series. So Zaya's World. So even though I'm not recording episodes, y'all gonna see my life. So I know I'm gonna be starting vlogging once I get to Cleveland. I feel like that'll be the best first episode. Like, okay, behind the scenes of how the hell I'm gonna get to Cleveland. So yeah, a vlog series, a second podcast as well, and then also working on merch. So I'm working on merch, different vibes. So I'll post them for polls, votes. So because I'm not about to make something that's people not gonna like. So, but yeah. And then also I'm working on a Christmas special. I know it's so early for Christmas, y'all, but I'm working because I'm really passionate. I love Christmas. Everybody knows I love Christmas. So I'm working on a special project for Christmas. It's probably gonna be a film. I really hoping it comes out to be a short film because I really want to keep the acting bag on me. But yeah, so I'm working on several things right now. So even though I'm in my y'all, I'm still working. Also, I'm working on getting an apartment. Let's keep it real. I'm working on getting an apartment. So yeah, those are things I'm working on.
Nah, you killing it. That's a lie. You killing it, Keep doing amazing things. Keep going, man. Just keep going, man.
I just need to do an album next, and then I'll be tied for.
I feel you. I feel you on that.
Shit, I told Roy, I was like, Roy, dude, like, I know you make good music, but just let me in the booth one time. I just need one.
I mean, anything possible.
Anything's possible with autotune.
That's fact too. So what do you have to say for everybody going to send out, with the podcast, graduation, everything they're doing? Get them, say something inspirational.
If they're in the same footsteps at me or inspired.
Yeah.
Okay. What I would say to people in that model. So if you're going to college, I'm not gonna sugarcoat it and be like, it's great. Is what you make it to be. So if you're going into college and like you're not going to come out as the same person. And I know it sounds corny, people that are probably going to college right now, but you're not going to be the same person. You're going to change it up. And I really just want to tell people, be open to change. If I was not open to change, I would not have a podcast because I would be like, podcast, wouldn't podcasts go out of style? Podcast back, boo. So just be open to change. I've always been an actor. So going into just like audio format all of a sudden, be open to change. And then as well, love on people. It's so like you do your service, you do your energy detrimental when you just hate on people. I mean, I hate on people too, but you got to hate for them from afar. But if you keep talking about the person over and over, what you giving yourself? And then as well, no dream is a dumb dream. I don't care if you want to fly with the unicorns. Any dream is possible if you put your mind to it. And don't tell people your business all the time. I know in college, I would not tell people. Like, okay, you could tell people like when you make a good grade. But nobody wants to hear about, like, for example, whenever I hit number one or when I've been a good positive team pick, I'll tell my friends that genuinely care about me, but I would not go around telling people. So sometimes you got to keep things to yourself so that way you could protect your energy and make sure you protect your confidence because sometimes people are envious of you.
That's a fact.
As my boyfriend say. But yeah, that's my inspiration. But there's going to be a lot of sleepless nights, but just know when you get that paper, it's going to be worth it because you'll be done. It'll look good on the resume, but I just want to say to all my people that are in college thinking, oh, I can finish off at college is at your pace. Wherever if you want to speed it up, speed it up. If you don't want to speed it up, it's okay. So that's what I'll say for people.
There you go. There you go.
And do it for you, not for your parents.
Fact. That's a fact too. That's a fact. That's a fact too.
Because the loans ain't it.
Definitely not, man.
Mm-mm.
But Zay, before you go, we're gonna play a segment game.
Okay.
We're gonna play a segment game called 5 Random Topics. Ask you 5 random topics. It could be short or long, or however you wanna say it.
Okay.
Are you ready?
I'm ready. I'm competitive.
All right. I think you might answer this already, but what is your favorite album of all time?
Five favorite albums?
Well, you can name 5. You can name 5.
Okay, because I'm a music head. I'm gonna say Thriller by Michael Jackson, Butterfly by Mariah Carey. The third one would have to be SOS by SZA. Number 4, it would have to be I'm really trying to think. Whitney Houston. What was that? What was the third album with Shoe? Shoe. That one.
Oh yeah, that's a good one. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's a good one. And then as well, 5 would have to be I'm trying to think. Oh my gosh, Britney by Britney Spears.
No, you know what? Let me answer this too. I didn't prepare for this.
I didn't prepare myself for this at all.
All right, so one, of course, Thriller. Of course, I got to add that.
Mm-hmm.
Off the wall, number 2. Confessions, Usher.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
See who I had it in my head. Outkast. Speak About the Love Below.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And one more. Stevie Wonder. I forgot the album called. Dang.
He got a lot.
Yeah, he have a lot. It's the one that got It's the one I forgot the key of life. I think that's what they call it. The key of life.
Okay.
Yeah.
Also, another good album that I definitely slept on is 8701 by Usher. Because Can You Help Me? Can You Help Me? That song, I'm just like, that's been on repeat for me. I'm an R&B nerd.
You're not the only one. I love R&B too. So
R&B, hip hop. People get crazy because I remember I posted something on my Instagram about like a picture of with like some rap music, and everybody's like, "You listen to Lil Durk?" And I'm like, "Yeah." Y'all think Zaya from the Zaya show is just listen to pop music? No, I listen to hip hop. Surprise people.
I listen to hip hop too.
I listen to everything.
Not
country though. I hate country. I'm sorry.
Maybe
country. No rock music. I'm sorry. Call me biased. I'm sorry.
Maybe a few artists. Maybe a few.
Yeah, not everybody.
Right. What the last movie you watched? It could be from the movie theater, or it could be like on streaming several TV.
Technically, the last movie I saw was Super Mario Bros. For the second time because I really love that movie. But the last one that I saw in the movie theaters is The Little Mermaid. I totally supported Hailey Bailey. Hailey Bailey, she's just amazing. I love her, and her sister Chloe.
Fact, me too. It's funny, Little Mermaid was the last movie I saw at the movie theater too. So
I really want to see Spider-Man though.
Me too, yo. I got me too. Me too.
I need to get there.
That's a fact. Me too. What is one TV show that got canceled but wish they brought back?
Damn. Shit. I know they just canceled this show, and I know I'm gonna sound like crazy on it, but children don't watch this. It's on Netflix and it's called Sex Life. So basically it's about a woman that's married to a man that has a perfect picture. She's white, of course. And basically she has her ex-flame that comes back in the picture, and she's like she's slowly becoming a sex addict. It was such a good show because it shows like how addiction can really hurt like friendships and relationships. And then her friend stabbed her in the back and took the husband. I was like, oh, and they ended after 2 seasons. I was so mad. It was called Sex Life. Definitely watch it, y'all. I didn't even finish watching season 2. Also, that's another thing, college. You don't get to watch TV as much. So all my college students sitting on the couch and watching TV, I don't blame you because I should be doing that right now.
I saw the trailer for that. I never watched it, but I saw the trailer.
It's real good.
I'm gonna check that out. For me, they were supposed to come out with a reboot for this, but then they canceled it. Degrassi. I don't know.
It was gonna come out with a reboot for Degrassi already.
Originally, yeah, they're supposed to come out early this year. Originally on HBO Max, yeah, but they canceled it. They canceled it. Like, dang, when I heard that, like, damn, I was upset about that.
They should cancel The Weeknd's new show because I just saw the first episode and I'm like, this is so what the fuck.
Hold on, what show?
The Idol. The Idol with the Weekend.
Oh, I didn't know. I didn't know that was his show. I see. I
It
see.
is his show.
Oh,
He's a star in it. I know. He produced it too. It's so weird. Like they had the Johnny Depp's daughter. I forgot her name, but she was doing like a whole like masturbation scene for like 10 minutes. It was like
wow.
the Weekend.
It's crazy. I saw posters of it, but I didn't know what it was. Like, what the Idol? What? I didn't pay no mind.
It's crazy. I still don't understand the show. Like you will not understand the show after watching it one time. Being honest, people probably gonna agree with me on that.
No, I agree. Yeah, you gotta watch it at least 3 times to really understand the show. Sometimes.
Exactly.
All right. Well, what's your favorite food?
Ooh, favorite food. See, I'm kind of biased right now because you know, I love a good pizza, good supreme pizza. But what I ate different, actually, this weekend, cause my boyfriend made it for me. It was like a salmon sushi roll. Like I'm not a big sushi person, but after that sushi, I was like, this is real good. I guess also because it was cooked and not raw. So yeah, I'm kind of on the sushi train right now. So I want more sushi.
I mean, I'm a foodie, so I like food a lot. But
I'm a foodie too.
If I have to say, I go soul food with me, Thai food, you know, and pizza, of course. Yeah, I like
soul food. No question. That's a no brainer, especially coming from the South. That's what you eat.
That's a fact. No, that's a fact. Same here, son. Same here. And last one, who is your favorite actress and actor?
Favorite actress and actor. My favorite actress. Well, of course I could say Haley Bailey, but I'm gonna name another one. I would say. Oh, I'm really trying to think of her name. Angela Bassett.
Yeah, of course.
She's a great, like, she's been in so many movies that defined my childhood. I'm like, how the hell she didn't win an Oscar yet? But anyway, favorite actor, I would say Will Smith, and then as well, I would say Michael B. Jordan. I'm gonna name 2 because you know I like we got too much talent. I'm sorry, we just got too much talent.
You know, crazy. I'm gonna agree with you on both. Favorite actor definitely is. I actually is like Michael B. Jordan.
Yeah.
Will Smith also favorite.
Because really, Michael B. Jordan becoming like honestly from a person looking at it, I'm like he is taking. I don't want to say taking a place of where Will Smith, but ever since that slap, it's like they put Michael B. Jordan on a more pedestal. Am I the only one that's seeing that?
I noticed. Yeah, I actually kind of do notice that too.
It's like they promote him more, especially after Creed 3, especially with I felt bad for the other dude, but I was like, why you fucked it up like that? You couldn't have just, you know, let the movie premiere, but you just had to beat that chick up. That's gonna be on season 7. I could talk about that on season 7.
There you go. Also, I want to add Denzel as well.
Denzel Washington paved the way for everybody.
Yeah,
so I said it.
Yeah, actress, of course, Angela Bassett. I am upset that she didn't win the Oscar yet. She could have won twice.
Absolutely.
But that messed up that she didn't. I know it's somebody else. I can't even think right now. But yeah, it's
Viola Davis, always. Viola Davis.
Yes, definitely.
And then also Gabrielle Union, and then Nia Long.
Oh, definitely.
See, you could tell which sitcoms I watched. Also, Brandy. Brandy is coming back into her acting back too. So I'm like, I love the 90s and the 2000s type of shows.
You're not the only one, man. You're not the only one, man. But Zaya, thank you for coming on the show, man. It was good talk. It was really good talk to you, man.
It was really good talking.
Yeah, you were really killing everything. You know, the Zaya show, Ultimate Radio, and everything. You know, I'm looking forward to everything you're about to do. And congrats on everything you're doing. And thank you for coming on, Zaya.
Thank you so much, Ken. You know, the Gentleman, MrGentleman Lifestyle Podcast. It's a great honor to be on your podcast and keep doing what you're doing. Thank you for all the love and support. I see it. I see it for everybody else. And just as a podcasters, I guess speaking for all podcasters from behind me, we appreciate you too and everything that you do. You are the king in my eyes. You're the king of the podcast right now. So podcast game. So I'm just gonna say it. I mean, if y'all want to fight me on it, Zaya for the Zaya show said it. So, I didn't say I'm the king.
No, for real. I appreciate that. I don't think I know where they're the king yet, but it's gonna take time. But I appreciate that for real. That really means a lot, man. That really means a lot. So, Zaya, before you go, drop your social media where they can reach you and drop everything you want. This is your time.
Okay. So guys, be prepared for a call to action. All right. So I am mainly on Instagram. So you can follow me at _Zaya show. the underscore Zaya underscore show. So you're gonna spell Zaya Zaya. Some people spell it wrong. I don't know. As well, you can look up the Zaya Show on YouTube. I do have some episodes that are in video format. So if you want to see the episode with me and Michelle in video format, I love Michelle. Shout out to Michelle, girl. Love her. You can see episodes like that as well. If you look me up on Spotify, I have all the episodes there. Definitely follow me on Instagram and Twitter. Twitter is at Zaya Show. Keep up to date because sometimes I do be dropping some surprises that only the Zay fan would see. And then as well, look up the Zaya Show. I'm on iHeartRadio. I'm on Google. I'm on Spotify. I'm on Apple. I'm currently on a hiatus right now from season 6. So check out season 6 from season 1 to season 6 and see the evolution and get ready to hear this as my boyfriend said, the man talk for season 7. Okay.
Yeah, there goes Zaya. And thank you for coming on again, and we'll be right back.
Thank you so much.
I just want to take the time to thank everybody for tuning into this latest episode of MrGentleman Lifestyle Podcast TV. Thanks to my special guest, Zaya, for coming on the show. Zaya, bro, that was a great conversation. I definitely want to bring you back on the show. I'm looking forward to coming on your show. And congrats on everything that you are doing. And keep killing it, man. And everybody, check out the Zaya show right now. And if you want to watch all of MrGentleman Lifestyle Pocket TV episode, you can watch it exclusively on YouTube. Ken, aka MrGentleman Lifestyle Podcast Network. Ken, aka MrGentleman Lifestyle Podcast Network. Or you can listen to the audio version on MrGentleman Lifestyle Podcast. We're on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, Good Pods, and many more. Y'all can rate the show 5-star rating on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Good Pods, and Pod Chases. The more y'all rate the show, the more people know about MrGentleman Lifestyle Podcast. Or y'all can listen on the official MrGentleman Lifestyle Podcast website, www.realmrgentlemanlifestylepodcast.com, www.realmrgentlemanlifestylepodcast.com. And once again, thank y'all for watching this episode of MrGentleman Lifestyle Podcast TV. Have a good day or night wherever you're watching this episode. You are now listening to MrGentleman Lifestyle Podcast Season 6. True!